In this video, let's talk about the brain anatomy as a whole, which I would be explaining in detail as a whole in cross reference to the consciousness and uh, its variations as a whole. And in precise, this subject is going to be more or less interrelated to the artificial intelligence scientists, which most of the scientists are working upon. Whole of the ideology of doing this video is explaining the very aspect of the spirituality with artificial. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. As I was speaking in my previous video about the very aspect of Maya, Mahamaya, Adbhuta, Maha Adbhuta, Sat, Anasat, Jnana, Ajnana, Mithya, Amithya, Sthitva, Asthitva, Sat, Anasat. Let's try getting much further with this subject in more detailed way. I have added a video wherein it is talking about the brain anatomy as a whole. Though it's self-explanatory, wherein it is giving detailed functionalities of the human brain as a whole. Now the point for adding those videos, that very video of neurosciences is that today in our neuroscience, it is a huge challenge that if one goes to neuropsychiatry or the psychiatrist or any doctor for that matter who are with neurology, they give sedatives. Unfortunately, for all bad reasons, what I can say is it doesn't hold good. Because I actually sometime back, maybe 10 or 15 years back, to withhold my depression or whatever it is, I met with a neuropsychiatrist and he gave me certain tablets. Though they did not really work out as a whole, as such, for some reasons. The same thing when I approached a local, a military personnel, retired military personnel. He gave me a different approach from the spiritual point of view. What he did was, he actually tried to explain this Maya and Mahamaya concept, which is more or less the primary aspect of life, which is far beyond the universe and the ultimate conscious state of mind. That means it is going beyond super subconscious state of mind and it is reaching to that point. Such is the power of our Vedic scriptures. That's the reason why here I need to get into the aspect of Marthika Parmarthika. Marthika Paramarthika aspect of the truth aspect, which has Marthika means Makara plus Artha plus Ikara, Parama plus Artha plus Ikara. Parmarthika Satya. This is the ultimate truth. Whereas practically, if we really look at it, you know, one needs to understand dharma, artha, kamya, moksha aspect, which are the four aspects as per spirituality, if we really take. And once you understand this dharma, artha, kamya, moksha aspect, then comes that adbhuta aspect. Adbhuta in the sense, those response to stimuli, you know, wherein you get annoyed, everyone gets annoyed, right? This is where the human emotions actually need to take control over. Understand this. This is the very much critical aspect of the conscious nature and its consciousness level. Nevertheless, one might say these what we call spiritual jargons are something going beyond our heads. But still, one needs to understand Maya or Mahamaya is nothing but that illusion and delusion aspect. Understand this. Let's say I am speaking, so-called Ramachandra is speaking and giving a lecture on this. Nobody knows what will happen the next moment of time. But why is this happening? How is this happening? Godly evidence, that godly existence, which is both form and formless. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's take the artificial intelligence aspect of this. How are the scientists who are looking at artificial intelligence going to really explain this? Can they give those codes? Can they give this Maya and Mahamaya aspect, that illusion and delusion, that presence of mind, that conscious state? Or, create that seed called consciousness in the consciousness, the thought process. This is where actually the aligning of the brain starts happening, left and right side part of it, ladies and gentlemen. It's very hard concept though. Yet again, it's not so hard to be understood, but it is very easy. But one needs to get to that illusion and delusion aspect. As I was speaking in my previous videos, wherein, I am putting across certain things. How are scientists going to comprehend this aspect? And the funny part over here is, how many of the research scholars in the field of fine arts and culture could understand Natya Shastra from this viewpoint of view, and they are talking. I am not talking from the chapters. I do not want to get into that at all. Those 108 karnas or whatever it is. Bhayanaka, Adbhuta, Bhaya, Abhinaya. The very purpose for Natya Brahma or Natya Sutradhara to introduce Natya Shastra in the present day society was when Parvati Devi asked Shiva or Prakriti asked Purusha about this very aspect. Shiva had to explain this. And that is the reason why for any of the technicalities, if we are talking about the robotechnologies or nanotechnologies, if one can decode the very shloka of Ekameva Advitiyam, Ahamaiva Brahma, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Brahmaiva Jivo Naparaha. If scientists, if the artificial intelligence, the one who is actually like trying to create a nanotechnology or robotechnology in this field, if they can decipher this, I can say that they have won the battle. To this day, none of the research scholars in the field of fine arts are able to do that authentic research on that. They are talking on the just subliminal part. This classical music and classical dance is based on this, ladies and gentlemen. However, to simplify these things, the rishis and munis have created yoga sadhana. Yoga sadhana is again based on yoga drashta, yoga drushya, yoga maya, yoga mahamaya. Maya means illusion. Mahamaya is that delusion beyond the scope. Mahamaya is beyond the comprehension of human existence, ever existing universe. Again, this is more or less related to science of sound and science of music. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very hard point. Stay blessed. Have a real peaceful life. May the Guru's grace be with you. Have a nice day.
To be or not to be, that is the question.